Hello, everyone. Welcome to the bonfire. And here is Andy. And I believe this is the next episode of Disco Elysium. And let's jump straight to the game. Here we go. This time, as you can see, I've edited my portrait slightly differently, and now Kim Kitsuragi will join us, and there'll be three detectives on this story now, and yeah. And I also thought that I need to go on with my style, having a tie, a necktie, and a jacket and a short to resemble our dear protagonist, because I thought it was some kind of impolite to be wearing this t-shirt that I was wearing, while they both are so smartly dressed. And here we go. Let's remember where we stopped last time. Now, have completed plenty of tasks now, and I remember last episode finished with a lot of frustration from the fact that night doesn't count as time progression. So unfortunately we'll have to wait until all our 6 thoughts are completely internalized and finished. And the good news is that I think I'll be getting a new skill point in 10 points of experience, which is really, well, positive. And Kim, I guess, should be inside. Maybe not, because I can't interact with the door. Now, this door now is...
The door is closed.
Okay.
This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside.
Yeah, so nothing has changed since the previous day. Let's just go down. Oh, here we have a spam message, but I think it has already disappeared, and we shouldn't be bothered. Oh, have some party happening there. Kim wants to talk to us. Good morning, Kim.
Morning.
He gives you a quick nod. Okay.
I've got some good news. I took care of the body. The thought of him decomposing in my MC wouldn't let me sleep.
He smiles. Good, thanks.
I'm just glad he's gone. We have other matters to attend to.
The lieutenant is downplaying his contribution. He got up before sunrise to get this done, and now he's quite pleased with himself for taking care of the gruesome business so efficiently.
The Union muscle finally turned up, and they look rowdy. We need to talk to them.
He points to the mess hall doors. And why do we need to talk to them?
Everything points to the dock workers' union. The belt used for hanging him, tracks in the mud, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy.
What do you mean, rowdy?
I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast, there's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for said policing. I think it's them.
Are these the men Gark told us about yesterday?
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
He crosses something out. There are so many of them, maybe we should call in reinforcements?
That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Okay.
In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
Let's roll.
One more thing before we do.
Mm.
We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first.
Mm.
But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
Well, that's quite a difficult choice. I don't know how I should behave now. Do we have other tasks? Karaoke, put the clothes. Well, we could explore this soup mystery if the kitchen is open, and we can talk about the drug dealing. Yeah. I don't know. I'm worried. I'll talk to her later. So this says the tomatoes are so thinly sliced you can see through them. Can I talk to this person?
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garanzi and Kubek.
Grazie, Kubek.
Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garanzi Kubek. Please. It's not funny.
So that isn't his name. Okay, hello sir. Got time for a few questions?
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
What is that? What is in that borscht you're making there? Point to the large pot.
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Yes, nod, no, shake your head, mercury rising, run your fingers through your hair. Sorry, I don't understand you. Let's say yes.
Borscht need more vodka?
He looks at the soup, then at you. He picks up a bottle from the shelf.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
He nods.
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself!
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
No vodka. Turn the fingers counterclockwise. Cut it.
The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak.
Do you know what's behind that door? Point to the blue door.
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Leo said you're friends with Maniana. Is that true?
The mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again. They're friends.
You've got some impressive pots there.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
I don't think I need anything else. Stay masculine and say, with saying this, we leave. Okay, one mystery solved. Can this door be open now?
You see a heavy steel.
No, unfortunately. Right. Then can we have a talk with God? Maybe there are some news. There is some news.
Can I help you?
No, not now. So these guys here, I think we should talk to them because that is necessary for our investigation. It's a bowl, there is spit in it, reeking of tobacco, and there we have photos of men in overalls, toting guns and Union placards. And you see hawthorn bushes outside.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
Let's squint.
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside.
Very low. It's not time yet? Mysterious door scene. What do you mean it's not time yet? Okay, let's revert your gaze. It's not time. It's not time for what? What was that interesting line for? Can't wait to change out of these rags. Okay, this lady.
Let me handle this.
The woman says to the crowd in the mess hall before turning to you.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
You are far from home, Lieutenant.
This
isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
You're not a gardener.
That's right. I'm not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
Feels like she's waiting for action of some sort. I'm in no trouble. I'm here to do my job, that's all.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
She points to the man standing in the middle of the room.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her. Could this be the Miss Beaufort that Easy Leo mentioned? The one Mr. Everard sent to law school?
I, Lizzie, Elizabeth, Miss Beaufort.
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
She points to the tall man by the table.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes, in the way she stands, in her face. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
Easy Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
You set the pace and the topic of these conversations here. Establish that. A man like Easy Leo could have said anything. Do not be restrained, sire.
He said Mr. Hart sent you to law school.
I represent the union and these men here. Don't make this personal.
She points to the crew around the table.
A very minor victory.
What's your role in all this?
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
What if I want to talk to you, not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
What are you going to do to me? Lieutenant is not satisfied with the approach.
What are we going to do to you?
She starts laughing. It's a cold laughter, devoid of joy.
The union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime syndicate. It is a labor organization.
Goddamn right it is.
Gruff hum from the table.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But we digress.
She shakes her head. Why are you so aggressive?
Aggressive? You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us. And now you represent murder suspects. Just dock workers.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
The tall, broad-shouldered man takes a sip of his beer.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
Options. The world needs a financial buffer zone. No need to get emotional. Privatization is not unlawful, it's cool and funny. Maybe you're just not historic individuals. I don't know where you heard that, but it's wrong. The RCM is principled and strong like your socialists. Like that, good start. Let's take a step further. Armed uprising. What are the union's plans? And yeah, let's do that. Let's ask those questions. Well, principled and strong and like you socialists. Well, that's not true. Let's go with this first option.
No one is emotional here. Do your job. Ask your questions, then leave.
Her expression stiffens further. Okay, I should talk to Titus then. How many hours till my thoughts progress? A lot. Perception -1, half-life -2, empathy -2, rhetoric -1. That's quite awful, and it's very important for our case to be really insightful. Maybe I can talk to this lady now to, to skip some time. Let's do it.
Just a moment, officer. And there's no public phones nearby?
She turns back to the cafeteria manager.
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
He appears to be genuinely apologetic.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. Now then.
She turns back to you with a weary smile. Good day, ma'am. Everything all right? Or... Sorry, ma'am, I didn't mean to eavesdrop on your conversation. Tell me how I might make it up to you.
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
What's wrong with the phone line?
The manager was vague about it.
She frowns.
Why would he be vague? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi, may I ask what you needed to use the phone for, madame?
He shakes her hand brusquely.
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
She looks down.
Oh, forgive me for not introducing myself. My name is Lena. My husband and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Okay, I'll buy it. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully. But you have more important things to worry about.
She glances out the window toward the bay.
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting.
What is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
She sighs.
The water lock, that was broken. Could this be it?
Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that.
She smiles.
Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
The waterlock to the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the water lock?
I can just create some rubbish. Big butter billboard. Oh, it's not rubbish, it's actually what happened. And it looks like some maniac crashed his motor carriage into it. Probably jack up earth. Well, wouldn't you know? It's blocked by a big butter billboard. It fell right into the water.
Oh, sweetie. If it weren't for you, I'd be looking forward to another sleepless night. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect. Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired, and it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're here. When or if I get there.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
So your husband is some kind of scientist.
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
She says with a pinch of pride. What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite. She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Tell me more about Morel, looks, character, your relationship.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
So what does your husband look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information. It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Let's try again. Why don't you try describing him as you would one of your cryptids?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
Her smile is soft. How did the two of you meet?
Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say.
What's shaming?
I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident. And he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She smiles wistfully.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think I have all the information I need. Let's move on.
I hope I've been useful.
Tell me more about this rare insect your husband is looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about the insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but
Ah yes, Phasmatodia, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh yeah, here comes the interesting.
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insular Indian coast. Hence its name, the Insular Indian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
She looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
Lieutenant sighs.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
What makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have.
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insular Indian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
So is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
She chuckles to herself. Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Does it have cool powers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
Okay, so what's so special about this stick bug then?
Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special.
The woman's face flushes with embarrassment.
Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
You don't notice this about me, but actually I have lost all memory of the world myself and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Surely things can't be that bad?
You sense that she won't judge you, no matter what you say.
Things aren't bad, they're catastrophic.
You know where we are, right?
We're in the Whirling in Rags cafeteria.
That's right. And where is the whirling itself located?
In hell. We're in hell. All in hell.
We're in the city of Revachol, dear.
She flashes you a worried look. Honestly, I don't really know anything about Havashol.
Oh my, how would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days.
There is a pause as she studies your expression. You must look quite lost.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
All I know is we're approaching the end times.
Perhaps, dear, perhaps. But for now, it's just the spring of 51.
She is perturbed by your not knowing what year it is, but not by your mention of the apocalypse. It must be the end times.
I want to screenshot that.
The lieutenant studies you, rubbing his chin. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant. How can it be that bad? Never mind. We're in this now.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Some kind of democracy, maybe? Or I'd like to think it's the dictatorship of the proletariat, but something tells me it's not. Our leaders are fierce warriors who traverse the plains and streets. We are governed by intelligent machines that perform calculations to determine the freest market. Everyone hustles and grinds like a bad-ass visionary. Radios are being used to control people's minds and distort our perception of reality, concealing our true masters, foreigners and women. And cop, we are living under the cop regime. I think we should go with the first.
No, sadly not. Revachol is what's called a zone of control under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is market-driven.
Meaning, buying is voting.
If there is no government, how come there are cops?
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't really any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
So, how did I do?
You didn't do very well, dear. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
She means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good.
What is the revolution you mentioned?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new. Something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
What does that have to do with there not being any cops?
It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things? And how can I help you?
Who could tell me more?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
She turns to the lieutenant.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a police officer.
Of course. Then, I don't know, someone rich maybe. Wealthy people are educated, though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. But thank you, sweetie. You did make me forget about my worries for a while.
She smiles up at you, but concern is creeping back into her expression. That's all for now, ma'am. I see this option is possible to click on, but first I want to deal with what we have completed already.
The Jamrock Shuffle. In a way, yes, you are treasure hunting. Most officers from Precinct 41 do what is called the Jamrock Shuffle, cracking open containers. Most of them are from Jamrock or Coal City, the poorest parts of Revachol, that also overlap with the network of royal catacombs called Le Royaume, just beneath the streets. As children, you would all go underground, hoping to find treasure, and come back with a rat's tail or a used needle. That playful curiosity must still be in you. Who knows, maybe one day the Orbe de Montagne, the Holy Scepter, and the Cocaine Skull will all be yours.
So the effect is find better loot in locked containers. Well, I wish I had this a bit earlier, but, well, unfortunately. I thought I got one new thought, but I didn't. Okay, that's fine. That's fine with me. Now, we need to change clothes as we need to improve our suggestion. You saw that there is a skill check there. +1 suggestion. And let's remove this short. So, what can I put on instead? Physical instrument. I don't need that. Let's now try this.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Yeah.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey Lena, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you just tell me about a couple of them?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
Lieutenant throws you one of his looks. Cryptid extravaganza. I like the sound of that.
And I don't. Just one.
Come
Or
on.
he'll be disappointed in you.
Oh, come on.
Ooh, tough choice there.
Invisible, the most dangerous, tiniest, and biggest. I think invisible.
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
You're right, Kim. It's childish, but I need to know.
Okay, I won't spoil your fun. What is the invisible cryptid?
Lieutenant concedes.
It's the Col de Mama d'Aqua. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Col de Mama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
Col de Mama d'Aqua can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
A whisper light and low.
Yes, that's another translation. They're both quite lovely, aren't they?
Her eyes light up behind her glasses.
Although the low part is a little ironic. The Col de Mama d'Aqua makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere all of the time, and we wouldn't know.
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
The lieutenant looks at her skeptically.
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
Could it be here? Right now?
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
What evidence is there of this animal being a sound?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
Songbirds.
The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest-pitched bat calls.
She transforms, when speaking about these strange animals, into a confident woman.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Col de Mama d'Aqua, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
Oh.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them.
Name them.
Sequester, Time, Joscan. Those are but some of the Mamadakwa they followed individually.
Why is the Mama Dakwa so afraid of us?
That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
Extinction.
They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mamadakwas. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the explaining things thing. Psst. They cancel each other out.
They cancel each other out?
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population.
Great regret washes over her. A wending cloth.
After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Mamadakwa population anywhere.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though, ma'am.
I'm glad you did, dear.
She seems genuinely glad. Interesting. What about...
What about what?
the biggest cryptid?
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
But Kim, don't you want to hear about another cryptid too?
The lieutenant pauses thoughtfully. Something in him breaks.
Ah, fuck it. Let's have more cryptids.
Well, the biggest cryptid is, of course, the horrible giant of Kokonur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes.
What do you mean, strange light?
Mirage or psychogenous luminance.
She doesn't elaborate the nature of this luminance further. And just how big is it?
No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision.
Is it dangerous?
The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable.
Hui. No animal can be that large. It's a mirage.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet can support. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur Desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Great. This is great shit. You need more. Gravity anomaly. Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here.
Okay, the tiniest cryptid,
Cryobacter catlensis.
Cryobacter cathensis.
Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago.
What's so special about it?
The bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate, certainly from before recorded history. Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Wait, she injected herself with it?
Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
It's actually A little hard to see. But do go on.
He looks at her skeptically. You mean there is an immortal geologist wandering the world?
Yes, and she's quite mad, too. After she treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream.
There were other questions there.
Cryobacter
Yes.
bacteria.
Yes.
Michanu disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Tend to live forever too as a symbol. She was preparing for the end times. She wanted to witness and record the twilight proceedings. Yeah, let's prophesize doom.
Michanu did talk about the end of the world a great deal before her abrupt departure. Everyone thought the bacteria had driven her mad.
The most dangerous
She
cryptid.
really the gnome of Jeroma.
The gnome of Jeroma. That sounds terrifying.
Oh, yes. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue.
What did this cryptid look like?
It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a gangly little thing. Quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
She looks at you, her voice grave suddenly.
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very little species?
Lieutenant can't help himself.
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
She says mostly to herself.
Alas, always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
Seems very convenient that it just disappeared and nothing like it has been seen again.
I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most memorable, and they are least likely to be found again.
This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
That's all for now, ma'am. Okay, new thoughts.
Kingdom of Conscience. The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up at the sky, at the dark shapes of the coalition airships hanging there. Ask yourself, is there something sinister in moralism? And then answer, no. God is in his heaven. Everything is normal on earth.
Okay, moralist dialogue options. Heal +1 morale. Learning cap for volition raised to 5. Learning cap for logic raised to 5.
Actual art degree.
Oh, okay. Another one.
Trite, contrived, mediocre, milquetoast, amateurish, infantile, cliché and gonorrhea-ridden peon to conformism. I fucked me. Affront to humanity. War crime. Should literally be tried for war crimes. Resolutely shit. Lacking in imagination. Uninformed reimagining of. Lip-wristed, premature, ill-informed attempt at talentless fuckfest. Recidivistic shit peddler. Pedantic, listless, savagely boring. Just one repulsive laugh after another.
Yeah, so that gave us -1 hand-eye coordination, but now we have +1 morale when conceptualization pass happens, and it gives us 10 experience, which is, I think, a great boost, because our conceptualization is gonna be, I think, 7 after I return my shirt and put on what? Put on my Samaramirizian lounge jacket. Yeah. This one, of course, is kind of better as Hey the Cop and Shivers, +1/+1, but now conceptualization is more important. And yeah, I want to return my, well, that's a hat, sorry. Thought my bag is not equipped, but it is. And what else can I do? Well, nothing else. I have 1 skill point to spend, but let's not use it now. I think we are quite good here. And there is a new thought circulating.
Tremble. The time is now. Ta'ola.
What time?
Time for the show. For Ta'ola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse on itself. The world will disappear into a single grain of blackness. All sound will be muted. All life will scream.
Taola. What's that?
Ulogu Theodos. Xeno Zausin. Ipoli Osidhian. Echondes Fronisin.
Wait. When did this countdown begin?
Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first crack in the sheer face of God. From you it will spread.
This is because of the insane world ending I've been saying, isn't it?
Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That is why you marked yourself.
Am I sure it's not just a joke or some kind of coping mechanism?
It's totally also a coping mechanism.
I'm a little afraid.
So you should be. The world island crumbles at your feet, and in the far plain, Palindropos. Perhaps, just a thought, this has something to do with the hangover.
I do think the world might end soon. Of course, let's opt in.
The face of the woman fractures. There will be herd killing. We all become vapor.
Wow. So, what does it give? Co-op of the Apocalypse. Rhetoric -1. Rambling Madman. After some important conversations, I think. After.
Can I help you?
I think I have a question.
Another thing. Great. I love those.
So the phone line is dead.
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
He shakes his head and adds, that's pretty strange.
It's not strange, it's inconvenient.
No. Something nefarious is definitely afoot.
If you say so.
Is it true that there was foul play?
Who told you that?
Foul play. Lena?
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know so I can forward them the repair bill.
Okay.
Yes?
Goodbye. But that wasn't a quest, unfortunately, so we can't locate the perpetrator, the culprit. A person. Who's that? It's all about money, you know. Yeah. What about bottles, by the way? Can I collect any bottles? Doesn't look so. Where was the phone? I can't sing karaoke, obviously. And there is some change on the table. Half a real. Nice. Change. So, shall we talk to this guy here? Okay, let's go for it.
This is where you say you're a bit.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective.
Lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He is leaving it to you. Let's not say anything yet.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
We need to talk about the man handing out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
He looks to Titus for approval.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match.
Let's scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations. Hard to say what else. The ink is fading. And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
Where?
On his neck. Forget it. It's not important. Let's call this one the musician.
And the little guy.
Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
One of them is missing, the odd soul.
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
I found 8 sets of footprints, but there is only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here.
He sizes you up.
Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy? We ain't hiring.
He shakes his head.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
Shut the fuck up, Glenn!
I do the talking here.
Talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. End.
He points at the lieutenant.
You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
Lieutenant adjusts his spectacles.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
The man hiding in the backyard. Did he do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Where there is a container belt around the dead man's neck.
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yeah, why?
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
So just confess to murder?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy boy without arresting all Hardy boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A shadow of a smirk passes her lips as she tilts her head.
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
No, but seriously, who calls the shots around here?
Who do you fucking think does?
He sounds more amused than angry. Well, number 6 is the 8th Hardy boy, the one who is missing, the big dick.
Titus, no one was thinking...
A moment of silence. The long-haired one breaks it.
That there's any question who's the leader. That's how he would have ended it. Titus won't let him.
No. Fuck no! The big dick is right here, asshole. You're looking at it. Right. Fucking here.
Disregard the outburst, officer. None of the boys have any comments on their power relations. That night, they acted as one. That's all.
When did this hanging accident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
The fixer turns to remind Titus.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long had you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
How does the bullet in his head factor into this?
Huh?
A sip of beer makes the surprise go down easier.
There was a bullet in the dead man's brain. Why was it there if you hanged him?
How the fuck do I know? Anyone could have shot him. Target practice, maybe.
Another sip, his tight lip suddenly.
Interesting, sire. It's as if he's lying to protect someone. He's not very good at it.
This line of questioning is over. You got the cause of death already? Hanging. If there's any post-mortem trauma, it's your problem. This will not turn into a cross-examination.
You murdered him just like that? No remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
He says it as if it were worse than dying. Look, I'm just doing my job. What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just kill people like it's nothing. Honestly, I drink so much I can't really remember anyone I've sent behind bars. And, well, I know what is Reunion. But I mean, I know in our world what is Reunion here.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
So, I drink too much.
Doesn't remember them. He just forgets. Are you hearing this, Titus?
Ain't no use keeping a stiff catalog into your head. That's for sure.
He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. Why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it.
And he stepped out of line.
He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it. But I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Hold on, how do you even know he was in Special Forces?
'Cause one night he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either. But he fucking did. Right there. Like some kind of animal.
He points at the stage.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Okay, besides crimes against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He wipes spittle from his mouth.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before he started coming here.
He cracks his knuckles.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information.
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
He shakes his head in disbelief. Was this the same girl who was sexually assaulted, raped, you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
He repeats like a parrot.
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
Right, but who did he rape then? This is a very serious allegation.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
Despite the stonewalling, you can slip one more question in.
I'm going to ask for one last time. Who did the dead man rape?
Titus, do not answer. You have been forthcoming enough.
Fuck off, Carl. She's gone through enough without you harassing her too. She doesn't need more embarrassment.
What are you talking about? Embarrassment? If someone has been sexually assaulted, we need to...
What you need is to get the fuck out of my face. I've had enough of explaining myself to you fucks. He's dead. It's done.
You hear the aluminum crack in his palm as he squeezes the beer can.
As you can see, these men can only take so much baseless scrutiny. I'm doing my best to keep the situation civil, but...
What follows is a slow head shake. How did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was
Oh,
worthless.
sorry.
So am I.
How?
Now, we hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied. Can you explain that?
Look. I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clubbed him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
The tattooed one speaks up, beating on his chest.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
Oh, composure check. Mr. Tats, what did you use to knock the victim out?
My fucking elbow, copper. Samaran boxing style.
He looks you straight in the eyes.
Samaran boxing, or Sambo, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves, originating from the Samaran Isola. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. He may be lying, but he's good at it. No twitching, no rushing, no uncalled for details.
Where did all this action take place?
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Yeah, man, weren't you listening?
Okay, let's use composure challenging.
Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others, but...
First, tell me who's solid.
Elaine, who looks like he might be Titus's right-hand man, the least antsy of the bunch. Definitely not his first time being questioned by the police. This little rat-faced fellow is solid too. Always fidgety, yes, but no change there. Him neither. Mostly keeps to his tomato juice, or whatever he's got there.
And who's cracking under the pressure? This one. He's sweating profusely and he has difficulty breathing. They've smartly kept him out of the conversation thus far. Definitely the weakest link in the chain. Hey you! Turn to the big guy. You having trouble breathing over there?
No.
He looks up, startled, his forehead shiny from sweat. A few coiled locks are peeking out from under his warm woolen hat.
Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
There is something you're not telling me.
And fuck you, too, copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
His all-muscle comment wasn't sarcastic. He's genuinely trying to look out for Angus. This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Right. I have other questions about the lynching.
Like what, copper?
So, what are we going to do now? Conclude the questioning.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus.
Lieutenant closes his notebook.
I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
I'm going to take off now. Okay. A new thought?
Indirect modes of taxation. Turns out those Financial Oversight Committee gangsters stuffed millions of hard-earned dividends away in the last place anyone thought to look. The hearts and minds of everyday Rivasholians. You need to spread that deregulation gospel to the people. Tell them about that foreign fair tax. Preach that 98% gross burden. Preach it, preacher man. Set the brothers free. Taxes are racist.
Ultra-liberal dialogues options give +1 real, and then -1 empathy. Thinks he's a hustler or something. Well, that's unacceptable, actually. I think we have to forget this thought using our skill point. Yes. Have forgotten this now. And has it disappeared from the list? Yeah, this one now is crossed. What else do I not like? Art degree? No, it's okay. Kingdom of Conscience. Gemrock Shuffle. Rigorous self-critique. Volumetric sheet compressor. Ace is high. And Hobocop. Okay. Saving the game now. And
looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
What a fresh joke. You still haven't explained the bullet I found in the hangman's head.
You still on about that bullet? A bullet in a hangman's head. You're right, Copper. That is mighty curious.
Indeed, mighty. How did it get there?
Well, there are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads.
He gives you an indulgent look.
I guess it's only logical. At some point, one of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
He taps on his right temple.
Sire, it would be an event most dramatic if you were to produce the bullet and dangle it before their very eyes.
I'm gonna ask you again, why was this, show them the bullet, in the victim's head?
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all!
Little man leans in to inspect the leaden blossom.
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
I think the hanging was a cover-up for the shooting.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid. And his brain grew around the bullet.
Oh, that's actually good. I'm going to screenshot that too.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think so.
All the goofing around is to avoid lying. It's a technique.
Yeah.
They're only pretending to enjoy this. Beneath the act, they don't like you knowing this.
Did you guys shoot him?
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
No, he meant before he was hanged. Did you shoot him before you hanged him?
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
Don't worry, we'll figure this sooner or later.
Never been worried in my life, lawman.
He crosses his hairy arms, having forgotten his beer for a moment.
It's not like you blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there, somewhere.
Establish authority. Uh-huh. I can try. Chance 8%. Talk about hiding again. I'm going to take off now. Let's try our chances with authority. I think it's not impossible. It's 3. Bonus from items, -1. Okay, let's improve it. Remove the glasses, and we need what? Anything to increase authority. Hey, seriously? Authority 4. I don't understand. Maybe something is decreasing it. No. Strange. Quite strange. Maybe some... No. There is no effect from our skills. It's because we had Psyche 4 in the beginning, of course. Okay. Let's now play with this.
Looks like the circus
load
left town,
and
but
save.
the clowns are still here.
Yeah. Authority, 17%.
Establish authority.
No. Let's load. I think it's not impossible. 17% is, well, not 50, of course.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
The only disadvantage is this repetitive line.
Establish.
Okay, I got it. Once more. Need to pass time by a book. Yeah.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Yeah. Titus doesn't look particularly happy to see you. That's mutual.
Establish.
Of course. The third failed try. But still. I succeeded in this game at 3%. I failed at 97%, so I'm okay with that. I think it's totally feasible.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Yeah.
Establish.
That was the 4th time. It's okay.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Once more.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
Where have I seen this before?
You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
I get it, Titus. You guys really are the authority around here.
Huh?
You're just like real cops, drinking beer and sitting around with your dicks in your hand.
You got a problem with beer now?
He leans in.
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Well, no, I'm drunk on the job too, I don't give a shit, just like you guys. Or, no, I'm just also a big fan of beer and jerking off instead of helping people. And I have a beer problem, a problem with beer. Also have no idea how to do my job, like you.
Speak for yourself, buddy. I've been running this outfit for 10 years now. You should have seen Martinez before it started. It was like jam rock now.
They didn't see shit, man. Kids getting shot. We had 3 shootings a week. Fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffito removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
He picks the beer back up.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
It's not about who did it, it's about the victim. She needs help.
Titus?
He looks at her.
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her, but you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
Titus stabs his chin with his fist.
What is her name?
Lieutenant takes out his notes.
Clausia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's I'm on due, with an O-U.
I'm on due. Titus adjusts his cap. Well, we saw her, it's our neighbor, and I actually thought that she is exactly the victim.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Oh, it's her! It's definitely her! It's Miss Oranje, disco dancer!
Classy.
Yeah. Blonde. Tall. 2 rooms over from yours.
He nods upstairs. Miss Ohania Disco Dancer. Or composure medium. Whoa. Set in remember reality. Set classy. Miss Randy Disco Dancer.
Sure. Why not? You've probably seen her around.
Okay, keep my cool. 8%.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
Yeah, no surprise.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
So what was her relationship with the mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Something is off here. His anger is possessive.
It was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
So, the rape, when was that?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
He turns to Glenn.
Here you go, boss.
The tall blonde throws him a can. Titus cracks it open. So, what's your relationship with her?
I know her.
He looks around, and an uncommon silence fills the room.
How well do you know her?
It's interesting that I usually misplace the stress in sentences, even though I see the highlighted word, and here Kim did the same as I do. He said, how well do you know her, instead of how well do you know her?
Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months.
He crosses his arms. So she's not from around here.
You mean Revachol? Nah. Our Miss Aranye disco dancer is an immigrant or a drifter of some sort. Been staying over here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
The fat guy blurs out.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
He slaps his forehead.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
You said you partied. Cool. That's cool. But what did you mean?
What do you think I meant?
Did you do karaoke? Drugs? Was it sex? Sex, drugs, and karaoke, right?
Yes, and no. Got something to say about it?
He looks you straight in the eye. So you're saying the two of you were close?
No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
He states matter-of-factly.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
I think I know her.
You don't know her.
You're on. I do.
Not the way I do.
Oh, that's for sure. Thank you. We'll talk to her.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Let's leave. All right. That was intense and successful at the same time. Kim wants to talk. Yes, Kim?
Officer, what was that?
You mean the sweating and the fidgeting when he mentioned her name?
Yes.
And the sort of quivering jello thing with the eye? Pointed your twitching eye?
Yes.
I think I know that woman.
The victim? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
She knows I didn't remember being a cop.
Okay, that's manageable.
I didn't rape her.
What you're saying is, you raped her?
No.
Then, don't ever say that again. What else?
I met her in the hallway after I woke up.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday.
That's it.
This is unprofessional. Not sharing information with me is unprofessional.
His opinion of you has lowered considerably.
Oh, come on. Kim. That, again, you remember in what condition I was when we met, so no surprise. Speak to the assault victim, get a reality lowdown. What? Rich person. Ah, Morel, the cryptozoologist. Yes, understood. 10:30 it is already in the game. And Should I try somewhat? I think I want to internalize this cop of the apocalypse and go and talk to this man again.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
I want to talk about Hannon again.
Again. Just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
I have it.
Good one, Titus.
Why don't I arrest you? Step closer to Titus. I don't really want to escalate.
About fucking time.
And this option
Again?
here, nothing.
Yeah.
Let's leave. So nothing else. And escalation is not my option. Now let's talk to this wonderful gardener, who is a lawyer.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
She crosses her arms. Are you the hardy girl?
I am not.
She says dryly.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
Her face stiffens. An interesting character we have here. I probably should spend some time talking about her with people. Maybe some interesting facts will be uncovered. So, can I knock now?
The door is closed.
Who is it?
A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door.
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
She shouts. It wasn't really a shout. Let's change our clothes and remove this instrument. I want to have more visual calculus. Probably. Or logic. No, drama will disappear. So let it be logic. And have conceptualization. Yes, that's good. And yeah, that's the full set I want to have for now. Open the door. Enter the room. There is something here. Piles of dirty clothes. A woman's. Then hotel bill calculations. Looks like she's had an extended stay. And stop. There is some idea. She's made around for months of payments for this room. So where is she? Here? No. You see the yard below. The corpse is no longer there. And inside this container,
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Look at the toothbrush.
It's been used quite a lot. This toothbrush belongs to someone who doesn't give a damn about her teeth.
Look at the medications.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
There is quite the collection in here.
Anything of note?
He asks in a lowered voice. Search the bottles.
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra, this is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Nacra, opioid antagonist.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
He nods and looks at the door. Search the pill sheets.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
Electrochemistry. Oh, wait a second. Electrochemistry I can boost by 2 points now. Yeah. And maybe even more. No, I think I have only 2 items for electrochemistry. So let's save the game now and come back.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs. A bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
What's so exciting about this orange bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Peptide.
Peptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
Just take it in plain sight. Well, like, take it, like, administer it. No, thanks. Don't want to. Yeah, now, I think we might talk to her with our electrochemistry boost, because she seems to be a junkie, or at least something connected to medicine might show up, and electrochemistry might come in handy. So let's wait before we decrease the points. Okay, what do we have here? Bed has been hastily made. There is a window.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Run your finger across the surface of the glass.
Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
This window was recently replaced.
Looks like it, yes.
Okay, and what's that? Oh, what? Excuse me? Here she is. Smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra menthol. This one here is cold coffee and ashtray that looks like a hedgehog. And here, look, a handful of dried white wildflowers. Okay, and this door here is...
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
A physical instrument. Push.
It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets.
Where does this lead to?
I don't know.
He makes a note in his notebook.
It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door.
Do you think it's important?
I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
So see, the main investigation and the door below are merging into a stereo investigation.
I hate it when that happens.
So, physical instrument it is. Can I increase physical instrument? 1 point, and then 2 points increase. So only 2 points I can add, but I think that should be enough.
The same small, heavy door.
What do you mean?
No lock in sight.
Okay, like too low. Can I still try? I just want to see what happens. Damaged health, right?
You kick it, gung-ho style, entering the premises style. But the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you.
Damaged health. Okay.
All right, let's trash the place.
Let's not.
I want to try and put some physical instrument level up. Okay.
The same small,
8%
heavy door.
now.
No lock in sight.
Success? Really? Whoa.
This time, something cracks inside.
8%.
It is an unbelievably satisfying sound.
Nice.
The young woman nods.
Well, sounds like this time the property damage was at least resolutive. Would it hurt to look in?
I thought it was an Ace's high moment, Kim.
I don't know about that.
Lieutenant smiles an uncomfortable smile.
It totally was.
Let's see. Oh, that's a location to load for. I see. And what would be inside? Oh, alright. I'm saving the game. 8% chance was worth it.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Lieutenant takes out his notebook. Someone's been here within the last week or two, and let's have a closer look then. Crouch, study the footprints. Wait a second. I want to change back to... I think... conceptualization, of course, for more experience, and... I'm breaking my own system. This and this. And about trousers, composure, electrochemistry. Well, no, it's fine. Now, maybe visual calculus. Yeah, I think visual calculus will be more important for now.
You clearly see...
Yeah.
Jackpot. These, 3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
He looks at you.
This is good. He likes it. There's a little smile there, in the dark of the workshop.
It was a stereo investigation after all. It has now converged with our main investigation, adding a new fact to consider.
Okay, what does this mean?
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind our rape victim's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Let's have a closer look then. Crouch, study the footprints.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. Shoe size is 41 to 42, maybe 43. It could be a large-footed woman or a small to average-footed man. This is, unfortunately, the worst, most vague shoe size there is.
Let's see. Ah, see that? I put these glasses and now it paid off. Great. This print doesn't look like the odd sole print we found at the Haninkim.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
This doesn't look like the workers' boots from the Hanin, does it?
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Let's get up.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Let's move on. So, what is this place? The pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted. That's the pinball machine. Interesting. And this here? Kim. Oh. Pinball maker's code. +1 empathy, +1 hand-eye coordination. Cool. I can replace it. I can use it to replace this conceptualization, but I don't want to because it's quite important for me now to get some experience boosts. New skill point. Later. What's here? Schematics for a pinball machine, futurism themed. And here, boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Okay, and this one, small windows taped shut with black plastic. You can't see outside. And this one, yeah, that's, I thought there was some kind of music player, but I think that was just highlighted exit. Just look at this treasury. So what's next? This pinball is wide the aura. The back glass shows a female figure in mourning. This a note, not a banner. The spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window. To the bush, corner room window. Corner room window. 5 real. Why do I keep saying that in French accent? It's real. Real.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimpled lock. It's painted blue.
This door is connected to the one upstairs, but how do we get through?
There must be a key somewhere. Probably somewhere in the whirling. It's not too important. We can get in and out using the roof door.
So, the bush near...
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside.
Yeah.
Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. This elevator must have been used to transport pinball machines to and from the upstairs workshop.
Let's look at the elevator controls.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. A small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long time ago.
So it was mostly pinball machines riding this elevator.
Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator.
He taps on the guttering light bulb. It's golden in the dark. Let's close the doors and go up. I've used such elevators in past. Actually, only once. It was in Budapest, and that was quite an old building, and that's hell of a pain to use such an elevator. You open the first door, which is just a simple door, then you press the button, I think, and it opens, and then you have to close the door yourself physically, this first door, and then the doors of the lift close, and then you can use it, and it's all so loud and clanky and actually very inconvenient. So that wasn't the best experience of a lift usage, and I never used it afterwards. I think I just used the stairs.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up, a long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like they gave up on fixing the pinball machines at some point.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
This used to be a pinball workshop.
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
He taps his foot.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the artists bang away at it.
Let's finish the thought. So, anything else to pay attention to now? I think no. Let's get out. Let's not forget bush at the corner room in the street. We have to go there and check. And we need to talk to this lady here.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Is there a cleaning lady? I think I need one. Proceed politely.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
There are vortices of dark energy present, but not to hell, to another place. A third place, much different from our world. Or I can just say, no, well, let's go cool.
A third place? Interesting. That's probably why the cleaning lady quit.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
This does not come as good news to him.
Have I ever? Have you grown accustomed to your role as a police officer?
I have very little idea of what I'm doing.
You're doing just fine. After all, your path has led you back to me.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
Nice room you've got here.
Yeah. It's pretty deluxe.
You have quite the collection of prescription drugs down there.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
She says without any discernible irony.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her.
It was quite impressive. How did you amass such a hoard?
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The Anti-Star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
This collection includes Nacra, an opioid antagonist.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
His tone isn't aggressive, just inquisitive.
Better safe than sorry.
She takes a drag and smiles. You seem to have, among other things, Preptide.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments.
Like what?
Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically.
That's all as far as that goes, then.
Very funky.
She takes a drag, looking you straight in the eye. That door there, point to it. Did you know it leads to a downstairs elevator?
I did not. Mystery solved, then. I kept wondering where it led.
She takes a drag of her cigarette and smiles.
There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's holding back. Let's make a mental note for now.
There were tracks on the floor. They're recent.
Huh. This isn't good.
It's an old pinball workshop. The room back there. This place used to be a pinball arcade.
Okay. I'm glad someone's had fun.
That's all for now.
Mm-hmm.
She flicks the ash from her cigarette absent-mindedly.
She's lost in thought. Eyes narrowed. Forehead furrowed.
The window is new.
It is.
She moves slightly to your left to check her reflection in it.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. He finds the answer unsatisfying.
I have other questions for you.
Okay.
She takes a pensive drag of her cigarette again. Of course, we have read this line already. They tell us you've been through something difficult. and I noticed your room is close to mine. Have a personal question.
Yes, you're just one room away. Very personal.
She pours herself more coffee.
Good. Yes. This means she could have heard something. Like what you were doing before you blacked out.
You were you in Sunday night? I need to know what I did before I lost my memory.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions, like...
He waits for you to finish the sentence.
Get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here.
They tell us you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
We were sexually assaulted, miss.
By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
She takes a quick drag, unperturbed.
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered.
It's not that early.
She looks around. The sun has risen over the sea. People are rushing to work below.
It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed I'm awake. Why am I even awake?
So you weren't?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
She searches for the word, then shrugs.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
Titus asked you to spice things up for us?
Pretty much.
She cradles her coffee cup in both hands.
Warming them.
Are you sure you weren't raped?
I'm 89% sure.
Does that mean you're 11% not sure?
You know how it is.
Do you?
Do I?
Maybe you don't.
She flicks a bit of ash away and then the ash lands on her jumpsuit. She brushes it off.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here.
Lieutenant, I don't know what to say about this.
I'm sorry, miss, but we need a definite statement.
Let me make this 100% clear then, officers. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be this flippant if I had been?
What did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
Wait, partied. Where have I heard it before?
A lot of partying going on.
From Titus. About her and Titus's relationship. That's where you heard it.
I don't get it. What do you mean partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Were feelings involved?
A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that.
Must have been hard for you, pointing to the yard, seeing him there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
The call, reporting the hanging, that was you.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
Before we go on, if it is snitching, then why do it?
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him.
She takes a drag, her voice thick with disgust.
Tearing off his armor, demeaning him, throwing rocks at him.
The caller's voice was disguised.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
Hey Nick, you're upgrading your outfit, keep on. Yes, I'm trying to look like a true companion to these guys. Maybe I need some art filter to make me also look cartoonish like they do. Not cartoonish, stylized, but not there yet.
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into the cold wire.
So, she's God's mystery foam cutter.
And in the process, you broke the landline downstairs.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry.
Why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his, I don't know, hair.
Another puff, more nervous.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
She meant she sees him in her dreams.
I've also seen him in a dream.
You have? Not like I do, I imagine.
How do you see him?
You don't want to know.
She looks into the pack. It's green. It's light green, then pulls out a ciggy. I see him as me.
She dips the cigarette in the lighter's flame and inhales, then looks at you with her lungs full of smoke.
I can see the similarity, yes.
She breathes out through her nostrils. The air smells of menthol.
Funny.
The lieutenant says softly.
Funny how?
Nothing. I also saw him. We had a long inspection and that sort of thing sticks with you. Let's move on.
Interesting. What did they hang him for, if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Why was there a bullet in his head?
Bullet? They shot him too?
There is silence. Her brows meet in the middle for a pained frown.
I'm not picking up on any theatrecraft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Where were you when this happened?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie.
How do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests. Downstairs, they have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now.
And how did you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Did you party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely.
Oh.
Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Thank you for telling us all of this, miss.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
As he says so, you feel the young woman looking at you and get a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. A suspicion?
Had something else before we go. Little thing.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
What is your name, miss, for the record?
Clausier Amandu.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese, as does her accent.
Are you from around here?
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate.
What is around here?
A bad memory, officer.
A bad memory of what?
Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass, duraluminum. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. A night. At least it was for me.
She squints her eyes as if to see them in the distance.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there.
The conference centers are filled with people who get angry at you if you do something wrong.
Did you do something wrong?
Sooner or later, everyone does.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
What do you do, miss? What's your specialization?
Something stupid.
What's that?
Oranese lit.
Oranese lit?
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
She raises both eyebrows. What is Oranese literature about?
Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters.
Revacholian literature too?
No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world.
I do feel the urge to save the world, yes. I guess that's why I'm on this case.
That's the natural state of the Revacholian hero.
She breathes in the menthol flavored fumes, savoring it, then breathes out. Sorry. Oranese lit. What do you mean? Sorry, what do you do with it?
Nothing. I do nothing with it.
How do you make money then? Money is very important. Show you some.
Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit.
She looks at the black note in your hand. Being what?
Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
She smiles.
It's the world's most tired smile. Of course she won a beauty pageant. She's very symmetrical.
Could we take a look at your passport, please?
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river.
Excuse me? How do I know you've told us your real name?
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausier Mondu. It's a weird name.
A voice like she's fed up with his life, or a voice of a seducer. Yeah, a lot of characters here have this kind of mood to them, yeah.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
I'm pretty sure I have the legal right to demand your passport, miss.
Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street. And I don't want my relatives to pay the ransom.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
That's not why you hid it, though.
It's also why I hid it.
Why else?
He's suddenly very attentive.
I'm an unpopular girl. There are people back home who don't like me. If they show up, I'm in a hurry.
She takes a drag.
The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry. This has nothing to do with your investigation.
What kind of people are these? The ones that don't like you?
I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect.
No, we've just come to talk.
Phew.
She wipes her brow.
Playfully. She doesn't seem to be overly distressed. Or distressed at all, really.
Okay, then.
Okie dokie.
Thank you. That's it, for the record.
The record. So official.
Volition Legendary 14, and I have high volition.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m. Drinking coffee, most likely.
Are you mad? Standing on the balcony for 11 hours straight? Now I'm going to look her in the eye.
Officer.
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you.
Legendary 14, your total 16, volition 6 dice. What?
You know these guys?
What guys?
Who? Me? Yes, you. He's talking about you, you boring stiff. You too. Me? What did I do? These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info. You can't trust them anymore.
I knew something was off.
I'm sorry I didn't catch it sooner. It takes conscious effort on your part.
Which ones exactly are affected?
There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid it's best to assume all of them. Bullshit, man. I ain't compromised. Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here. No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol ziggy.
Menthol is horrible.
Really? Quick, tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory, truth, softness. Protect her. She wants you. I take it back. He's got it pretty bad. But this next guy's on another level entirely. She likes you. The crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature.
How did this happen?
How it always does. Through subtlety.
And what can I do?
There's nothing you can do about it. You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do.
Can't you turn them normal again?
No.
What use is this then?
It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not?
It's better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not? It's better, I agree. Does this mean she's been lying to me?
Yes. Mr. Thespian here has been singing paeans to how truthful she is. She is a lady, most fair and just. In his defense, to reduce him to such inadequacy, she probably had to employ half-truths more often than outright lies. That is correct. And omissions too.
Can I trust that guy?
A little. They're all still of limited use, interpreting things to the best of their ability. Maybe they add flair or something. I wouldn't know. I don't add flair. But when it comes to assessments of character and factual accuracy, they are not to be trusted. Not with her.
Can I trust any of them ever again?
Don't be melodramatic. You can trust them. Just not with Miss Orange Disco Dancer here.
Orange? Why Orange? She is Orange. What is her plan?
You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one who usually does says, she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious. See? It's oddly moderate. probably compromised.
I've been talking to myself long enough. Let's get back to it.
Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this.
Miss, are you manipulating me?
The silence broken. She exhales a little cloud of smoke and says,
God, no.
Nothing
Yeah.
about her room.
All right.
And so-called
Not my
assault.
favorite topic, but okay.
How
about
so
we-
no more conversations. A thought has been completed.
the suicide of Kras Mazov. It's clearly a lie. Kras Mazov didn't shoot himself. Reaction was on the counteroffensive. The State Day Palace in Mirova was surrounded. He was either assassinated or died in the bombing. You might even have evidence to support this somewhere in your brain. Mazov was never given a state funeral by the communists. Some people even say the body that was recovered from the ruins wasn't his. There, good. Hero restored to glory. Carry on, comrade.
Great. White check failures heal all morale. +1 rhetoric, Mausoleum ethics. That's great. +1 rhetoric. And where is it? I think Cop of the Apocalypse minuses rhetoric, and then they just negate each other. The 15th in the tribe, 1 hour left. These different cognitions have disputes with each other. Yes, they do. Like, for example, well, authority and empathy logically can't tolerate each other, and then conceptualization and drama aren't exactly most fond of logic. And then, who else? Maybe suggestion and empathy, but I haven't had much suggestion, and I don't know how it behaves really. Yeah, and these two lines are quite low in my case, and I can't report how they behave between each other, but yeah, obviously some of them are conflicting, so, and that's interesting to see. Now, back to the case. Haven't read the description for this tape, by the way. There used to be a tape in this case, but it was destroyed in a fit of rage. Something about the Athenier's single smallest church in Saint Seon must have been rubbed someone the wrong way. Label says the song was recorded in 43. Now, Kim, what do you have to say? But first I think we have to leave the area, because I don't want class here to listen to us. So, Kim, what is that?
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
You think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Say in a hushed voice, why did she tell us all of that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Something is off here. And I can whisper, I know she's manipulative.
So you said to her, what did you mean by it?
She has half my skill set compromised. In her tune. My assessments of her are untrustworthy.
She seemed forthcoming to me. Unusually so. Being forthcoming with some things is a good way to obscure other things. But I wouldn't call myself compromised.
Because perhaps that's because you are.
I am not easily swayed by young women. But on the other hand, the best liars are candid. And she was candid.
The lieutenant seems oddly sure he is not compromised. Not psychologically, at least. Is it hubris?
Is it your new flat? No, it's actually Classia's flat, this lady's, and the balcony is hers, so it's quite a luxurious suite in this hotel.
Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back soon enough.
Oh, I don't really like that I need to talk to these Hardy boys again, as I'm afraid they might not take it lightly. It's changing over the, excuse me, some Russian symbols and then progress, and I see. So, what have we left behind? Maybe this cupboard will give
This
some...
medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs.
Search for the
plus an old...
again.
There it is.
No, I don't want to take any drugs, as I said. Now, let's open the door. Kim, can I go to your room? No, I cannot. Can I go to my room? Yes, I can, but what for? And what is this door about, I wonder? Another closed door, which we haven't yet opened. Let's get out of the hotel for a second, because I want to find that key around the bush game it was. If only I could edit messages. Yeah, that feature is quite missing on, I think, on all chats. That's quite a pity. So it's changing over the game progress. And that, I guess, was about the game, sorry, the flat, and if it was, then it doesn't change.
Can I help? Another thing. Great.
Classy
I
in
love
room 3,
those.
she nicked the phone line. I don't know. I probably should keep it to myself. God, what if I told you I got into the back room, behind the blue steel door?
Oh, okay. Well, I did hear you make noise back there, so good for you.
He controls his excitement well.
It takes a lot of willpower not to ask. Obviously, he's been wanting to know what's behind the door.
Aren't you gonna ask me what's back there?
Okay, what is back there?
Nothing. The black gaping maw at the end of time and skeletons, Mausoleum of the Dead. Pinball machines. Let's not play tricks with him. A pinball workshop.
Ha! I knew it. I've always wondered where those machines by the door came from. And they told me there was some kind of pinball thing here too. I knew it. Were there any back there? In working order, I mean.
Why? Do you want to play? Because I might be up for a game.
No, I was just wondering if you found pinball machines there.
He appears to be making a calculation in his head.
He was wondering about something business related, about how much money he could make of one.
If you're thinking of selling those pinball machines, I want a fat cut. C-suit cut. Beat your chest. I'm a disruptor. Feel a capitalist plot coming up and thinking of turning this place back into a pinball arcade. Let's go neutral.
No, but we could diversify the entertainment options, seeing as you've opened the door back there. Well, the machine we have in the corner now is broken. It wouldn't hurt to get a little life in here. Other than the hellish karaoke machine. That one's always causing trouble.
Yeah, those numbers he's adding up must be making good sense to him right now.
Yes?
We shouldn't tell him about Classium. At least not now, maybe later. So, first of all, to the street. Check the bush near the corner room. And I wonder if Kuna, if this monster is still there. I hope he isn't. What's that?
Was that? Could it be? The Koldamama Dakwan? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear.
Is it? Is there ringing? Listen more closely.
There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird.
Wait, Kim, do you hear a high-pitched noise?
No, I don't hear the Koldomama d'Aqua, and neither do you.
Of course he doesn't. He's deaf.
Let's listen closely first.
There it is again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species.
Keep listening.
It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you.
Move your head toward the sound.
Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there. Go after it. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the sound of the streets.
No, come back, please.
Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
Alright, new thought. I've dropped you something on VK, don't be surprised. Okay, I will read it after finishing, I guess. If, can I read it after finishing? Or it's something very urgent? Now, Koldomama d'Aqua. Research bonus none. Let's internalize it. Yeah? Or should we actually forget some thought? No, we have to unlock all the slots anyway. So let's internalize this one and proceed to go to the. What's that? Why were you? Okay. There is classy there. A bush near the corner room. And where would that bush be? No? A bush. Corner room. Oh, wait a second. Could it be that it was upstairs, that corner room? Because there were some plants there. Yeah. Maybe I'm taking the wrong lead. And here's this guy. Because the only bushes I've seen were the ones that Kuna is patrolling somehow. And they don't flash with any interactables, unfortunately. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on and enter the tavern after the stream. No hurry. Thank you. Then I will. The bush near the corner room. There are bushes here, but there isn't anything interactable here, I guess. Or maybe I'm failing to notice any bushes here. Can I?
You see ahead.
Yeah, nothing. Okay. Can I go upstairs? Maybe I need to increase my perception. Can increase my perception, but do I have any items that increase perception? Here is this bush, you see? One. One bush, and here's one more bush. Corner room. Corner room is my room. And so this has to be the bush where the key is hidden. And I cannot see it. Why? Because my perception is 3. Increasing perception is, I think, impossible because I don't have any items that increase perception, unfortunately. There is hand-eye coordination, but, well, maybe I had some drugs, I think. Yeah, motorics and morale minus. No. Doesn't help. So I'm sure this bush. I'm just freaking sure. But there is nothing to interact with. And that means that I'll have to increase my perception next level up. and come back and hope that that was not futile. There is also this bush here, but there is no corner room here. The corner room is mine. No, I'm so suffering now, because I know there should be something here. Right, let's go and talk to those guys downstairs again, hoping they wouldn't kill us for our conversations. Maybe the bushes is not what it seems, the name of a bar. Yeah, but that wasn't capitalized, and what actually troubles me that it was this flashing message that then disappears and they didn't give any quest, and there was no thought to be processed after that, which is very unsettling. So,
I've got nothing to say to you.
okay. Titus, my old
the clowns
friend.
are still hanging around. What is it now?
You are lying, my friend. Classy says she wasn't raped.
Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
Fucking whore. Oh, the big man's eyes and veins bulge.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
That's very offensive. Very.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
Looking for complexities where we don't.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
That's actually, well, I wonder, this kind of, like, this Elysium forces me to use bad language because I just now I reacted without even thinking, and that was quite an impulse because I was shocked that he used this this slur, and at the same time I never allow myself this language, and now I'm thinking, with all this policy, can I be punished by Twitch for saying such things, like following the game's thread, or is it like within the game's world and so I'm allowed to do that? I mean, I would never do that to people. I think I quite agree with this tolerance policy, but within the game, can I like repeat and follow conversations? Is it reprimandable? Is it punishable? Crazy. What are you talking about? She was very lucid.
She wasn't raped. The witnesses' statements were very clear.
The lieutenant's voice is beginning to betray his agitation.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her.
He says through clenched teeth.
And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Titus Hardy!
Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot.
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody.
Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape.
The tattooed man snaps his fingers to get your attention.
Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
Another apocalyptic actor in town.
Yeah, I'm the only apocalyptic actor in town.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pixty, they don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind.
So what's on this tape?
What's on it? We call it the Dorgunna Mega Mix. You'll know why. Won't you listen to it?
Now that is intriguing. You had me at Dorgunna.
Where did you get this tape?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer.
20 experience from this conceptualization perk. Wonderful. Actually, there are numerous degrees you can get in signals intelligence.
Yeah, like you have one. Smart ass.
He looks to his left. There is a beer there that he forgot. So you've bugged them. How?
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
Which one of you is doing this advanced radio work then?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
The chief picks his back up. What? The chief picks his beer back up to offer a silent toast.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
Where can I listen to this?
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
His voice echoes like thunder in the small room.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
He repeats calmly in a hushed voice. That's enough for me now. I'll get back to the investigation.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy.
Take the tape. Fine, I'll listen to it.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
He says, adjusting his belt buckle. A few more things about the tape before I go listen to it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go listen to the tape.
What about it? You do that, lawman.
I'm going to take off now. Thanks, Titus. Actually, he hasn't yet smashed our face into bloody bloody pulp, and that's quite good news.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Okay, I got it. Kim, where can we listen?
Yes?
Okay, he doesn't know. I've got the tape. Wait a second. Here it is. Aha! Tape Door Gunner Megamix. A magnetic tape acquired from Titus Hardy. It supposedly holds a recording of the mercenary task force radio communications recorded via a de-encryption station. Not a good omen. Requires a boombox to play. Interact.
You stare at the great Door Gunner Megamix. If only you had a boombox, you would be able to play Titus's tape. The tape feels ominous. Upon it, the dead speak. Respect the tape.
I need to take a screenshot of that too. Sounds lovely. Okay, Kim, any suggestions? Still no. Okay, got you. Gacht, maybe you know where I can...
Another thing.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing. So, I haven't got my level up yet. 20 experience to go. So I think this person doesn't want to talk to us. Can I go upstairs and check in my room if my boombox works? And who else has a boombox? I don't remember now, but I think some... maybe in the office, the one where we found the phone. Or maybe we can... Oh, here, look. We have it. We can use it.
The compact tape player is still and silent. Seems it has completely broken down now. The machine was made in Revachol by a company called Le Mercier. Their logo depicts the triple-towered Delta skyline. It was supposedly built to last.
This would have been very helpful with the Megamix, but it isn't anymore.
Yeah, any ideas?
My Kinema only comes with radio. Let's try to find a new tape player. Perhaps we should talk to Roy at the pawn shop. He has stuff.
Roy. Okay, so my
compact
player...
machine. This would have been very helpful.
It's not my fault.
Of course. We should try to...
Of course. No, it was actually my fault. Absolutely. Absolutely my fault. Because I think I smashed it to pieces, or partly to pieces. Yeah. Have to go. Time to sleep. Have a nice time and great day. Great deals, detective. Thank you, man. But I'm also going to finish the stream now because it's quite the right time for that. I actually wanted to stream today for maybe 1 hour and then go, because I'm not in my best condition today. Quite tired. A lot of lessons and stuff. But here we go. I think not least than maybe, yeah, 3 hours almost, and that's a good time to finish. Thank you, guys. Our case is going on. Our culprits are trembling in fear. And hello to YouTube, to those who are watching in this recording. And see you next time. Bye-bye.